week after beating Connecticut today, 82-68. We're joined by Victoria's head coach Mick Cronin. Pretty efficient offensive numbers today. 50% shooting, 46% from outside the arc, 83% from the free throw line, 22 assists, and 82 points against a good defensive team.
Yeah, I thought offensively we did some good things. With Gary and Kyle able to make shots, it distorts their defense because they play two big guys predominantly most of the game. Makes us hard to defend when we can invert our offense. Fortunately for us, we did a good job as the game. We started off poorly on offense. I thought the first 10 minutes we probably, if you look at the last 30 minutes of the game, I'm gonna guess we shot 60%. But that made up for what I just didn't think we're very good defensively. In fact, I know we weren't. So we only gave up 36 or 7%. We gave up 42. We only had 18 deflections, which is really horrible. So we won with offense today, but we've really got to, as a team, we have got to guard against playing the scoreboard. And we've got to try to get better. We've got to play better than that. And you say, well, what are you talking about, Coach? Look at the score. I'm telling you, you can't have 18 deflections, and you can't let that team, who's shorthanded, shoot 42% against you, and 50% from the three-point line.
You shut off their perimeter play early in the game, and I thought that gave you the boost in order to really not play different defenses, but it really brought out the intent that you played your called defense.
Yeah, Chuck, I'm not sure what you mean by that, but
I felt you got.
I don't tell anybody what we play defensively. We do a lot of changing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't tell the truth about our defense in the media because I don't want our opponents to know what we play. We change within possessions. We mask what we do. I don't talk about our game plan. Other than in general like this, I thought we did a good job on their best player. That's one thing I'll give you, Chuck. Jalen Adams, their best player. I thought we did a very good job. Kept him out of the paint for the most part and tried to make their other guys beat us. Obviously, we got extremely sloppy late. They had a 22-point lead and just got really sloppy and just did juvenile stuff. Trying to steal offensive rebounds instead of getting back on defense. So, I'm a coach, and I just told the guys the truth. I just deal in the truth. You play like that in the second round of the NCAA tournament, you're going to lose. You got to play better than that, period. And you got to be able to play better than that for 40 minutes. So there's so much talk, about people telling our team how good they are because of their record. And when you get in the NCAA tournament, everybody's got a good record, or they're not in the tournament. And if you're fortunate enough to get to the second round, you're playing against the 32 best teams in the country. And you've got to be better than we were today at times. Can't give up. We shouldn't give up 68 points to Connecticut, who's a team shorthanded right now, playing some freshmen, too many freshmen probably, in our own gym. So. 18 deflections will send us home in March. If we have a game with 18 deflections, we will not win that game. I promise you that. You can take that to the bank.
Won't you win a lot, though, with only 8 turnovers?
Well, again, now we're playing a team shorthanded. We really, they have to not foul on purpose. Mm-hmm. And we made shots today, Chuck. And
yes.
you know my point.
Yes.
Okay. What happens when you don't make 12 threes? You're going home. You're going home. Let's just be honest. You're going home. Tonight you don't make, you live out there, and like I said, we survived and we pulled away tonight because we used their size against them, and Gary and Kyle, with the inverting of our offense, really made them pay. And that was the difference in the game. And I would say, maybe the first 10 or 12 minutes of the second half, our defense got effective. We got stops. But again, I watch games and I'm trying to get my team better. And so what happens is, Chuck, you know this, winning makes you soft. And winning breeds complacency. And it's just human nature. People start telling your players how good they are. and people start talking about special seasons. All I know is we struggled the other night mightily on the road, and we have got to make sure we are able to play against a real team with real toughness for 40 minutes. So we'll see. We got to go to Connecticut. It'll be a different game. We're not going to make all those shots on the road against UConn the next time we play them. And if we don't play better defense for 40 minutes and get more than 18 deflections, we will lose at UConn. I promise you, we will lose.
Didn't you feel that your opening second half, where you outscored them by 18 points, which was the biggest lead at 26 with the 8 coming from the first half, that you played?
We defended.
Yes, solid defense.
But the problem with us, Chuck, is we don't sustain it. Mm-hmm. We don't sustain it.
Right.
So what I would tell you is, and so would Corey Blunt and Herb and Anthony Buford and Terrence Gibson and AD and all the guys that talk to our team today, okay, when it's 26, it's supposed to go over 30. Okay? Instead, we're leaking out.
Right.
We quit defending. So I'm not going to be happy. Right now, that's what's on my mind. And because I'd like to make a run in March. I took this job. I had a lot of dreams. And I've worked extremely hard. And you got a chance. And I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not trying to rain on everybody's parade. Okay? But people that know basketball, and you know basketball, Chuck. Okay? If you're not going to make 12 threes 6 straight games to win a national championship. You have got to play defense all the time and be able to grind out a W and hang in there when them shots ain't going in like we did at Tulsa. We hung in there. That was our best win of the year. And it's because we had 19 deflections in the last 10 or 12 minutes of the game. Okay? But when you pit, what I can't do with my group is I can't let them if I let them get soft, it's my fault. If I let them soak in adulation and that will soften them up, then it becomes my fault. So everybody else can do it to them. That's my job as the general, is to keep my troops ready for battle and tell them what's coming. So that's why I have the opinion I have. But I am happy about our crowd. Was awesome. It was great to see all the guys today. I went to school with all those guys. Unfortunately, I know Nick, he's coaching. He couldn't get here. And Eric is coaching down at West Virginia as well. So that was tremendous. It was neat. And the guys got to interact. Dan and I talked about it on the pregame. There was a lot of interaction between the teams. And it was good for our current guys to see how much love the former players have for the program to this day. But I thought that's really beneficial to make your players feel like they're a part of something, a brotherhood, a bond, and hey, that this is bigger than just us.
One simple question, I have no answer for it. How would you explain the fact that Jacob Evans shoots the ball only 3 times and gets nothing with it?
Not ready to play.
Not ready to play. Good enough. Thanks, Coach.
Again, soak up adulation, and you see what happens. And that's why, Dan did this stuff, that people found out, my goofy stuff about the hungry dog gets the bone. It's why people have seen my thing. This job is hard. The way I look at my job, every year they strap you to the railroad tracks. Every year.
Good analysis.
And the train is coming.
Yes.
And as a coach, you got until April to get off them tracks. And you get to, and you're alive, and you get to coach another year. And if you don't look, that's how competitive this is. That's how hard this is. And if you stop looking at it like that, as a coach at this level, you're going to get fired. You're going to get complacent. You're going to get fired. It's too hard to win. It's too hard to get players. There's too much going on. And it's too hard to go to a Sweet 16. It's too hard to go to a Final Four. And if Jacob Evans comes out and gets, here's your stat. He didn't score. I don't know. Let me tell you my stat. He had 1 deflection. Completely inexcusable.
Yes.
Because his steal the other night ignited our comeback. Okay, which is that's a steal. That's a tip. That's 2 deflections. He tipped it, and then you recovered a loose ball. So he had 1 more. I told him in there. He had 1 more. He had 1, and Kyle had none. So they combined for one more deflection than my mother, who passed away in 2005.
Coach, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, Cincinnati wins it today, 82-68. We'll come back and wrap things up in a moment here on News Radio 700 WLW.